Okay, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Now, hopefully you can see this stuff. So, okay, anytime, okay, people, including New Way, they'll instruct you, like we're doing a 3-stage cut. They'll instruct you to do your 45, right? And if you look at this, I don't know if you can see that. It says 46. Now by going 1 degree out, it makes for a better seat. So they tell you to go 45 and then do your 31 and your 60. But where I come from, I do my 31, my 45, well I do my 31 first. And the reason I do it is because I want to get my that's the 31 is the outside of where my valve's going to sit. And I want the valve as close to the edge. I want that seat as close to the edge without being on the edge for better flow. It's just standard practice. All right. Now this one's pretty close. You also, what you're trying to achieve is a 1/16 seat. See what I say? Like whoever did these did a nice job. That was a nice job. That's the intake. Now of course, you know, our exhaust took a beating, right? All that crap going through. That's why I don't vent into my carburetor. You know, and like the new bikes and that, we always, like the twin cams and so on and so forth, we always bypass our intake so that we're not sucking all this crap in. And that's why I couldn't, you know, I had the B-blast the heads. You take the heads apart, you guarantee you're going to have to reseat the valves. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So these are New Way cutters. Now, I have special carbide tips here. These, you can get these if you look. See the coarseness of that? That's for stellite. And this would be for regular hard ones. See the difference? The stellites are really hard to do, especially if you got to take down your seat enough so that you're missing valve to valve. Okay? And we'll get into that. I'll show you. And that has to do, when you're reading your valve specs, anytime you see the TDC lift, okay, you take that, and on a shovel head you'd add no less than 40. They used to say 60. You take that measurement, add 60 thou, and that's going to be your clearance from valve to valve with them sitting in your head. Evo Solutions, 40. Twinkies, you can go down to 20. Right? Now I've gotten away with 40 on shovel heads quite a bit, so, and not had an issue. So, now this is good stuff. I like it. Rapid tap, heavy duty. But I like this stuff. The energy release. Now I get this from. I forget the name of the company. It's good shit. And I just put a little bit. So what I'm looking for is my 31. The other thing you don't want to do is like when you don't just throw them on and start cutting. You want to make sure you're adjusted. So I'm on my 31. And I can see I got my blades are just on the edge of the aluminum, the edge of the seat. And I'm not looking for that, so I'm just going to back them off a little bit. Just a bit. Just a tip, baby. Just a tip. And we'll double check this out. Looks pretty good. Let's see. And we'll double check that. I like bringing it fairly close. Yeah. Yeah, it's touching right on this part of the circle. I'm going to bring it in more. Try and get them all. And you don't want to over tighten the screws in these heads. If you do, you will strip them. And the shit costs money. Yeah, it's not easy to get. It's not down at your corner store. It's not on your Snap-on truck. Mind you, Snap-on's being a real disappointment these days up in Kanakistan, up where I'm at. Yeah, now I'm missing the edge of the valve seat, or the edge of the head. When you buy a basic kit, it does not come with this little unit. Ta-da! I love this unit. You can get the auto ones where it'll go at the end, will go in your drill press and it just spins and you just touch it. But I don't like it because it goes too fast. You can't turn them down enough. And so all I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to clean up my edge. Now the reason I do a 31 first, and this is the other thing, I've bought a number of Harleys that went from shop to shop to shop to shop. Dealerships, you name it, they still don't run right where I've gotten a deal on the bike. I come home, I find a 3-stage cut on the heads when I take it apart, and lo and behold, of course I did a leak down test first to find out the heads were leaking. Brand new valves, brand new this, brand new that. Find out they did a 3-stage cut, but they didn't center or make the guide perpendicular to the seat. And if the guide's not perpendicular to the seat when you cut it, the valve's going to go in crooked and it's going to leak and it's going to run like shit. You know, I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot. Alright. You know, I should get some air here. Okay. I'm going to come in a little closer. Fucking boomers, eh? I just want you guys to see what I'm taking off here. There we go. Oh, that's getting not bad, eh? Not bad, eh? It's a beauty way to go, eh? Now you can see the shiny part. Okay, so that's it. That would be where the edge of my valve's going to be. The edge of my seat. Now, if you look at this one. Alright, where are we? Whoop. Is that too... Okay, let's do it this way. If you look at this one, you see that's actually more than 1/16 of an inch that was sitting on the valve face. Right? I don't like that because it makes more room for all those pits. Right? So we're gonna, and when you clean these up, do not bead blast the valves. You wire wheel them, and then you put them on your. Thingy. You know, the thingy. Okay. You wire wheel and put them on your valve grinder. Or, new way makes this. Where you can actually, I'll just back you off a bit. This little tool here, where you can put this in soft jaws and just spin it. I mean, you could chuck it if you want, but I like to use my valve grinder. You can see how big that seat was. It's just a little, you know, that's too big. Too big. You want to get around a 1/16, and if you look at the ridge on the end here, see, we're quite a ways off the edge. We're almost there, but not where I like to place it. So these will get wired wheeled. This is another cool tool from New Way. Carbide cutters. Do. But then again, if you're playing with, I gotta clean that now. But if you're playing with some really good stuff like aftermarket and Stellite seats and really hard valves and stuff, you wanna order the kit, but you get extra cutters and go for the carbide cutters. It'll make your life a lot better. Nobody wants to sit there forever cutting away, right? Alright. So there's that. So I just did a basic 31, and I can see how perpendicular, how centered my guide is to my seat. And she's fairly not bad. She's fairly even all the way around, which is good. And don't worry about if it's not. You put in guides that never go in straight. And I showed you guys that anytime you put in a new bushing or a guide, it's never going to come in perfect. Even though I got kits and stuff for getting my alignment as perfect as possible, they don't. And so what I would do in that case, if I was replacing this, I would take this 31 down, and I would take my 45 or my 31 and my 60, and I would make a point. I'd bring them to a point, and then I'd cut my 45 in on that. That's how I center. A lot of guys tell you go ahead and do your 45 and then you do your 31. But if you're not centered, it's not going to work out, dude. You're gonna have an oblong seat. The fucking thing ain't going to work. It's going to leak. And it's always going to give you issues. So trust me on this. Now this ain't the only set of heads we're doing. But I wanted to give Tommy an update where I'm at. So I am going to, and because we didn't change the guides, I'm just going to go ahead and I just do a little 45. And all I want out of this, doing these ones, is all I want is the pits out. That's what I want. So I'll go to my 46. You don't need too much lube either. I know, my brother is always going, just add more lube, but he's talking about his girlfriend. Woke up one morning, we thought there was a turkey in the house. All we heard was, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. It's his old lady beating him back. Yeah, I better bring these back too. So, I'll bring them back to here. Basic kit, I just don't know what anything costs anymore, because whether you're my U.S. cousin or Kanakistan communist stuck here with a bunch of communists, we're both under inflation. We're both getting hit hard. So, and this is an Australian company that makes them. Who carries these? Oh, I almost had the name of the guys. Now, I'm not trying to take off too much meat. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just being a simple man. Leonard Skinner style. Okay, now, if you take a peek, we'll bring you back in here. Take a peek at that seat. And you see how there's no more pits? And that's all I was trying to accomplish with this. Just get the pits out. When I grind these valves, I just want these pits out. And I don't grind them, I'm not aggressive in grinding. Right? I take my time, I go and do something else. So if you can see that. Now, the size of that is a little big for me. Now I've brought the end down with my 31. Where am I? I brought the end. When I cut the 31 it came back a bit, right? But when I cut the 45 it came back out a bit. Okay. What I'm going to do is go clean these valves. I'm going to air this down, clean it. And then I am going to spank the valve. Now we all know she likes to be spanked, right? So that's what I'm going to do with this. Clean and spank. And the other trick too is, I don't know if you guys keep around, this is what's left of my machinist blue. I need some more. And what you do is you put a little machinist blue around your seat. And then when you spank the valve, you can see exactly where things are sitting. But we'll do that. I'll just go ahead and get these done, get those cut and all this kind of stuff, and then when I'm ready to do some spanking, I'll save one valve there to spank for you guys. How's that sound? Or something. We'll figure something out. I mean, it should be good, eh? What could go wrong?